All right, welcome to MathsLab. Today, I want to look at number bases. But first of all, this channel is dedicated to making sure that people develop passion for mathematics. Even if you don't like mathematics before, but if you are subscribed to this channel, then we are going to make mathematics a fun. All right. So we are going to take a step-by-step approach into learning mathematics with fun. Okay. So today we have as our topic number base. Okay. So a number in base x is made up of integers from 0 to x minus 1. Okay. So let's divide it together. You have a number in base x. A number in base x is made up of integers. Made up of integers from 0 to x minus 1. All right, it's made up of. So that is to say, if you have base 10, okay, you can only have numbers. If you are dealing with base 10, then you can only have numbers ranging from 0 to 9, okay, but you cannot have a number like 10. So that is to say, you will have 0, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So if you are dealing in base 10, you can only have integers from 0 to 9. That is to say, the highest digits of any number base is always 1 less than the base. All right? Like in base 10, you have integers from 0 to 9. That is 1 less than the base that we are dealing with. Okay, for instance, if you are working in base 7, okay, you will have numbers ranging from to 0 to 6. All right. So if you are working in base 7, you cannot have any integer as 7. So you can have integers from 0 to 6. All right. So if you are working in base, say, in base 6, okay, in that case, you can only have integers from 0 to 5. So you can only have integers from 0 to 5 if you are working in base 6. All right. Then, if you are working in base 2, mind you, base 2 is otherwise known as the binary. Okay. Base 2 is also known as the binary. And here, you can only have integers from 0 to 1, but you cannot have 2. So that is it. All right. Anytime you are working with a particular number base, you can only have a number less than the base by 1. Okay, the highest digit of any number base is always 1 less than the base. For instance, you can see here, if you have base 10, you will have from 0 to 9, base 7 from 0 to 6, base 6 from 0 to 5, always 1 less than the base, 1 less than the base. And base 2, you can only have digits like 0 and 1. All right, so that is it. So if you have a number, okay, let's say the number 4132 in base 10 means the number 4132 in base 10 means you will have 4, which is this 4 times 10. Okay, this 4 times 10 raised to the power of 3. Okay, plus this 1, which is 1 here, times the base. Okay, raised to the power of 2. Okay, plus 3 times 10 raised to the power 1, and plus 2 times 10 raised to the power of 0. Can you see that? So the same number, this same number, if it is expressed in base y, all right, and the same number number in base y means the same number in base y means 4 times y raised to the power of 3 plus 1 times y raised to the power of 2 plus 3 times y raised to the power of 1. Okay, and then plus 2 times y raised to the power of 0. Okay, so we can go on and on and on and on and on to explain it. All right, so let's see if you have the number, for instance, let me see if we can manage the space. Let's see if you have the number, 572.43. All right, if you have now the number 572.43 in base 10 means that this number in base 10, let's see how we are going to express the number 572.43 in base 10. All right, so if we have that number in base 10, it means 5 times 10 raised to the power of 2 plus 7 times 10 raised to the power 1 plus 2 times 10 raised to the power 0, and then plus 4 times 10 raised to the power of minus 1 plus 3 times 10 raised to the power of minus 2. Okay? What if that same number is expressed in base y as well? What if 572.43 is expressed in base y? So let's see what that will look like. This same number, if it is expressed in base y, that's going to be 5 times y raised to the power 2 plus 7 times y raised to the power 1 plus 2 times y raised to the power 0, and then plus 4 times y raised to the power of minus 1 plus 3 times y raised to the power of minus 2. All right? So that is it. After this step, we are going to express numbers from other bases to base 10. Okay? So after this example, I'm going to show you how to convert numbers from other bases to base 10. And thereafter, after today's class, on another class, I will show you how to convert from base 10 to other bases. But today, we are going to look at how to convert numbers from other bases to base 10. All right? So, let's take, for example, let's take, okay, a conversion of numbers from other bases to base 10. From other bases to base 10. Is that right? Today we are going to convert from other bases to base 10. So let's take, for instance, let's take example 1, 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 in base 2. Okay, 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1. Okay, from base 2 to base 10. All right, or let me put it this way. Okay, for example, convert 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 in base 2 to base 10. All right, so let's do this together. Convert 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 in base 2 to a number in base 10. All right, so let's do that together. Okay, let's have a solution. Okay, you have 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 in base 2 to be converted to what? To base 10. All right, So this will take this. This first one, you have 1 times 2. This first digits multiply by the base and then raise to the power of the remaining digits, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is 6. Is that right? Plus the next one, which is 1 times 2 raised to the power of this, which is what? 5. And then 0, okay, plus 0 times 2 raised to the power of 4 plus the next 0 plus 0 times 2 raised to the power of 3 plus this one plus 1 times 2 raised to the power of 2. Okay, raised to the power of 2, and then plus 0 times 2 raised to the power of 1. Then finally plus the last digit 1 times 2 raised to the power of 0. Okay, so let's add it together. 2 raised to the power of 6. That will be what? 2 raised to the power of 6 is going to be 64. Okay, and then 1 times 2 raised to the power of 5 is going to give us 32. Now 0 times 2 raised to the power of 4, anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So that one is gone. The next one, 0 times 2 raised to the power of 3, is also gone. Then the next one is 1 times 2 raised to the power of 2. And so 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4. Is that right? We move to the next one, 0 times 2 raised to the power of 1. 0 times anything is 0. Okay? Then we move to the next one, 1 times 2 raised to the power of 0. Mind you, if you remember that a raised to the power of 0 equals to 1. This law is from indices. This is the rule of indices, that any number or any integer raised to the power of 0 is 1. If that is true, 2 raised to the power of 0 is going to be 1. And so 1 times 1 will give us 1. Okay? So that will be the 1. All right? So now 64 plus 32, that's going to give us 96. 96 plus 4, that will be 100. And so 100 plus 1, that's going to give us 101 in base 10. All right? 101 in base 10. So this will be the what? The answer. Okay? So if you calculate this, I'm going to do one other example for you to see. I will do one other example, and thereafter we'll move to the next one. All right, let me do another example in a new base. Okay? So, let me clean up this side. Let me clean this side. All right. So, let me clean up this side. Wherever you don't understand, please drop your question in the comment section, and you can as well chat me up on WhatsApp through my number. Okay. Okay, let's try another example. I think we can do 2 to 3 examples. Is that right? Is that right? Okay, let's pick one other example. We can try this. We can say convert. Okay, this was number 1. This was 1. That was example 1. Let's do example 2. Okay, let's convert convert 3154. Let's convert 3154 in base 7. Okay, let's do that. 3154 in base 7 to base 10. All right, so this will be it. Okay, we have 3154 in base 7 to be equals to, this is 3 times the base, which is 7. Okay, raised to the power of the remaining digits, which is 3, plus 1 times 7 raised to the power of 2, plus 5 times 7 raised to the power of 1, plus 4 times 7 raised to the power of 0. Okay, so let's see that. First of all, we are going to find the value of 7 raised to the power of 3. Okay, this is 7 times 7 times 7. And here is 49. Here again is this. Okay, 7 times 9, 63. You put up this. 7 times 4, 28. Okay, so 28 plus 6, you have 28 plus 6, you have what? You have 34. Okay, 34. So here, that is that. But you are going to multiply that by 3. Okay, 3 here, 9. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 4, 12. You keep 1. Okay, then 3 times 9. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1, you have 10. Okay, so here becomes 1029 plus 1 times 7 raised to the power of 2. 749 plus times 7 is what? 57 is 35. Okay, and then 4 times 7 raised to the power of 0. Remember, 7 raised to the power of 0 is 1. So 7 raised to the power of 0 is 1. And so 4 times 1 is 4. All right. So This is 4. So if we are going to add that together, then we will have this. Let's add this together. If we have 4935, okay, and then 4. So 9 plus this, 14, 14 plus 4, 18. We take 1. This is 7 plus 1, 8. Now, 1029 plus 8, 8. That's going to give you, this is 17. You keep 7, carry 1. This is 10 plus 1, 11. Keep 1, carry 1 to here, to here. All right. So that becomes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 7. Okay. That becomes 1, 1, 1, 7 in base 10. All right. So that is by the way. Wherever you don't understand, you can ask your question in the comment section and we will do justice to your question at any point in time. So, just as I told you, I'm going to do one more example before we go. All right? If you like to chat me up on WhatsApp, you can see my email and my WhatsApp number on the platform. And if you also like this channel, do well to hit the subscription button and subscribe to this channel so that whenever we drop or we have a class, mostly we will be having a live stream classes. Whenever we have a live stream class, you can always be there to join us, okay? So I would like to take one more example. So I don't know whether to clean this side of the board or to clean this side, okay? But let me choose to clean this side up. Let me clean this side. All right. Let me clean this side. Okay. So this is going to serve as example 3. We are going to convert 1101 in base 2. So the question is convert 1101. Okay. 1101.111 in base 2 to base 10. So let's do this as our last example for today's class. Tomorrow, we are going to convert numbers from base 10 to other bases. Okay? So that's why I say click the subscription button so that whenever we have a class, you'll be notified. Thank you for doing that. But let's do this as the last example for today. Okay, you will have 1101.111 in base 2 to be converted to a number in base 10. So we start from here, which is 1 times the base, this particular one times the base, raised to the power of 1, 2, 3. Okay? We are done with the first digits plus the second digit, which is the next one. All right, times the base, which is 2, raised to the power of 1, 2 digits, which is 2, plus the next one is 0. And so that would be 0 times the base raised to the power of 1, which is the last whole number digit. okay, which is 1, and so plus the last digit here, which is 1, times the base raised to the power of 0. No other integer that is left after this one. These are fractions, okay? And then plus the fractional parts, which is this one. So you have 1 times the base, which is 2, raised to the power of, we start from here to count as 1, raised to the power of minus 1, plus the next digit, which is 1 also, 1 times 2, raised to the power of minus 2, plus the last digit, which is 1, 1 times the base, and then raised to the power of minus 3. All right? I've told you, wherever you don't understand, drop your comments or just drop your challenge in the comment section and we will do justice to that. All right? So let's simplify everything. Here, 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8, plus 1 times 2 raised to the power of 2. 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4. And now 0 times anything is 0. All right, we can still put plus 0. Then plus 1 times 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1. Any number, any integer raised to the power of 0 is 1. And so here becomes 1 times 1, which is what? Which is 1. All right? We now enter the fractional parts. So here, 2 raised to the power of minus 1 is the same thing as 1 over 2. Okay? And so 2 raised to the power of minus 2 is the same thing as 1 over 4 plus the last part here. 2 raised to the power of minus 3 is the same thing as 1 over 8. And so let's add everything up. Let's first of all attend to the integer parts, which is the whole number parts. So here is you have 8 plus 4 plus 1. So 8 plus 5 is going to give you what? 13. Okay. So this is 13 points. We are going to do the fractional part. Or let me just do it first. 13 plus here is 0.5. So 1 over 2 is the same thing as 0.5. 1 over 4 is the same thing as 0.25. And then 1 over 8 is the same thing as 0.125. If you add up everything together, then you are going to have 13.875 in base 10. So this becomes the final answer for that problem. All right, having told you that we are going to do like 3 examples for today's class, we've come to the end of today's class. Do well to subscribe to this channel so that whenever we have a class, you can be notified. Thank you for watching and see you in the next class. Bye for now.